So a new Tarzan movie came out. I didn't want to see it. I wasn't planning on seeing it. The trailers didn't interest me, so I went to go see it. So what did I think? So just to set one thing straight, this is not a retelling of the origin story of Tarzan. This story is set like 10 years after he's moved on into civilized culture. He's become a sophisticated man, and then trouble erupts in the Congo, and he's got to return to his homeland, save Jane, save the people, and get back to his roots. Like I said before, I wasn't looking forward to this movie. I wasn't interested in this movie, but I gotta say, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It was an enjoyable, solid film that had great action sequences. It had some good humor to it. It moved quickly. The characters were intriguing. It was well acted. And it actually even, not that it had like deep social commentary, but it really addressed some of the things going on at the time, the 19th century with slavery, and then how that would tie into the Congo, and addressing even kind of the datedness of the idea of Tarzan, of the white man coming to the wild people to save. Like, it addresses that and explains where it's coming from to give some context and not just kind of gloss over how outdated of a concept that Tarzan is. So just kind of walking through the movie, the cast I thought was all quite good. Christoph Waltz plays the main villain in it. He does his kind of Christoph Waltz type character that he's played in many films before, but it works in what they're trying to do in this film. Alexander Skarsgård plays Tarzan. He's obviously physically looks the part, and he brings just enough charm and just enough seriousness to kind of have this balanced wild man that you kind of can relate to. Margot Robbie is fine as Jane. I didn't think the character had much to do, so there's not much to say. She did a good enough job in the part. The character that really popped out to me was really Samuel L. Jackson's character. I didn't even know he was really in it till I read some reviews, and they mentioned him, and some people really liked him, some people didn't. I really liked him. I thought he brought a charm, a charisma to the film. He brought a lot of the humor to it, and kind of progresses the story. And he's a much bigger part than I realized he was going to be. And really, like, in real life, he's like 65 years old, and you're watching the movie and you think he's like 45. He looks so young in it, and he's like running around. He's keeping up with Tarzan, kind of, which is kind of one of the running jokes in it. Can he keep up? But even his character's supposed to be in his 60s, but he looks so young in this that it almost doesn't fit. As for negatives, the biggest negative is as you're watching the movie through flashbacks, you get Tarzan's origin story. And as you're watching this movie, the whole time you're thinking, I wish they'd made that movie first. Like, this movie feels like a really interesting sequel to that movie. And by itself, this movie's like, yeah, this is good. I really enjoy this. This is a good sequel to a movie that doesn't exist. And it seems like that movie might be better than this movie. The second problem I have with this movie is that the budget was $180 million. And you think, what, $180 million? Like, there aren't a bunch of big explosions. There's a lot of CGI animals, but it seems like they just went so far into trying to make a big summer blockbuster out of Tarzan that they forgot that Tarzan doesn't lend itself necessarily to be a big summer blockbuster. There's not an audience for it to be a big summer blockbuster. And so then it's not really a critique of the film so much as a critique of how they made it, marketed it, and when they released it, that this movie probably might make its money back. It might lose some money. And it's not because it's a bad movie. It's because they made a really strange choice in spending so much money on it. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't necessarily swinging for the fences, but it aimed for a double, and it got it. It was fun. It was funny. It had some emotional depth to it. It explored the characters. It was well acted. Oh, and I forgot to mention this about Samuel L. Jackson. He's not playing these characters we see him play all the time. He's not the guy screaming about getting off the plane or get out of my jungle. It's nothing like that. It's not Nick Fury 2.0 or Nick Fury in the past. This is a different character that's different than what he's been playing. So I really enjoyed that about the film. And if I'm being honest, this is the type of movie that as I watched it, I was like, I want to tell other people about this. It's not that it's incredible. It's that it seems like a movie that a lot of people are going to just overlook, and it deserves more people to see it than probably will see it. If you like this video, please click the like button and click the subscribe button and see what else I put out. Thank you much.